what is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the debut album by rapper Big Boi of Outkast. Basically, this product is called Sir Lucious Left Foot, the son of Chico Dusty, and it came out in the summer. And this particular product came out in the summer of 2010. So the fare behind it here, basically this is a product that this is a particular product that Big Boi of Outkast had worked on for 3 years, basically right after the fare behind Idlewild had finished. And the particular thing about it was around that time in 2006, Outkast was kind of getting into squabbles, not so much full-bound like they were beefing pitches like that, but it's just kind of the internal type aspects that this was not really as commonplace kind of talked about, but there's always some sort of internal type aspects. Outkast had this been going on for like a good while within some of those type pitches. Andre 3000, in certain senses, I've heard him say, or at least it had been said on hip-hop social media, that apparently like the discrepancy between Outkast had went as far back as like Stankonia from the year 2000, so it just feels like probably not since the 90s, since Outkast had really not had like some degree of discrepancies with them. But I look within the tone as far as saying this is what Big Boi had been up to since Idlewild wrapped up in like the winter of 2007. He had said, it's a pretty interesting note that I didn't know this about Big Boi, but he likes to start music on Martin Luther King Day. That's when he likes to start working on new music pitches like that. So some good type appeals just being able to say, so this has been something that Big Boi had been working on since Martin Luther King Day of 2007, and he worked on it for 2 or 3 years within those pitches. It's just within the aspect now. The fare behind it, as far as the aspects behind saying, it's just the tone as far as looking towards. I don't know if there ever really was like a concept of like a 2008 or further kind of Outkast album. I don't know if they had anything whatsoever that they worked on around that particular time as far as getting towards some sort of other type project. Because I look after it's the thing within the pitch as far as being able to say it just felt like the conduct with what they were doing. It seemed like the most recent Outkast song, according to anything that particularly going to happen, was like the Artist Storytelling 4, which was included on DJ Drama's late 2007 album. It's just in the pitch, just questioning it would seem within the fashion that Outkast at least had some degree of being around in 2007, but I don't know if they did anything in 2008 or further. There probably is something within those aspects as far as something within that pipeline. I don't know as full bound, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying this. I think the likelihood of it surfacing at this stage is pretty off key. But I just would say here, Big Boi at least put out this product. And this is a classic. I fucked with this for a good while. I always fucked with Big Boi. Liked his 2005 album that he did with the Purple Ribbon, All Stars, pitches like that. It had some good type of appeals off of it. I reviewed that back in early 2024. Also enjoyed like his Speaker Box album from 2003. So it's just some good type pitches getting back to this particular format. Idlewild had some good Big Boi gems on there. It's just within pitches for saying. So I look after here. Now you will notice within the pitch behind it, for folks that do think, yeah, I like Big Boi, but where's 3K pitches like that? You'd have to say Andre 3000 does not do a damn thing with this product apart from produce one song. It's kind of within the pitch. But I look after just within the tone. I like the particular Andre 3000 beat on here. Basically every song off this product I enjoyed pretty damn. Basically every song off this project I enjoyed within the pitch behind it, so this is easy enough, going to get a classic score. And critics agreed with this. Now, the particular fare about it, Big Boi by this stage in 2010 didn't have as much casual kind of appeal. I guess Shutterbug was like a decent kind of bop within a sense, but not on the size of the way he was in 2003 with Way You Move, some of those type pitches. Or really the other one, like I got really like one of his follow-up hits, Kryptonite either, so once I pitched. So it's just within the format. This is kind of Big Boi, just more kind of cresting within the format, but it's not like it's bad whatsoever. But yeah, I just would have to say this feels like an Outkast album. I think within the pitch, if you can tolerate the concept for folks that really are just consistent kind of like harbingers and just kind of more sticklers for like the concept of just wanting further Outkast, the pitch behind it, this particular album is probably what an Outkast album would have sounded like in 2010, just without Andre 3000. I just look within the pitch. That's the only thing, is just not getting those Andre 3000 hooks and that kind of vibristic and kind of fibrous kind of energy within some type pitches. Just like that spasticness. I just look, other than that particular fare, this is basically your Outkast album. It has some excellent type of appeal. A lot of good excellence about this project. Just the particular tone as far as getting towards that viciousness. It's really tore this things up. It's really tore some things up within some side tones. And it just has some overall good tones. I wasn't expecting, there's a song on here that I used to listen to back in the day. I was not expecting Big Boi to outshine T.I. on this particular song. It's kind of a good pitch. Like particularly the song Tangerine, that's a song that really Big Boi just shone through pretty heavily with like his swag rap on there. He annihilated those particular verses on that song. I was actually surprised that T.I., normally who's like a pro at swag rap, just had a quieter verse on that particular song. It's just some good type pitches. So Big Boi does have some lyricism on here. In a lot of senses, like between Outkast is definitely pretty volatile type duo within pitch. Him and Andre 3000 continue to have like top tier of being seen as lyricists, but it's just kind of, I think folks kind of in certain senses underappreciated big boys like a lyricist. He has some pretty good, and he's definitely more of a swag rap. Like Andre 3000 may be more sheer lyricism, but Big Boy definitely has that swag rap type factor about him. He's pretty slick tongue within the fashions of what he says. So he just has a little bit more of like an edgy type way of saying it just from the tone. So it's definitely something to pay attention to. Just even just paying attention to this album title. Just I don't know which particular person would ever name an album. Not say that like there's anything wrong with it, but Sir Lucious Left Foot, the son of Chico Dusty, it makes you kind of question like what the hell are you talking about? Some of those type pitch is kind of fair as far as saying just pimpalicious just within those tones, just within the aspect. Album has like a real nice purple sheen about it, pitch like that, so it's just pretty stylistic within the tones. But that's what I have to say. So yeah, I look after here, so I recommend every song within those pitches -1, and we'll get to that one. But just underneath the impression, I think it's basically out of 16 or so songs. I don't remember as many full bound, but there's only one I don't recommend on the deluxe edition as well. Now to every song, including on the deluxe edition, there's only one I don't recommend. So Shutterbug is a nice single. It's the lead single here. It's like a bouncy kind of pseudo Outkast kind of 80s Van Halen type vibes about this song here. It's kind of a neo club step out, I'd have to say, and just like a nice 2010 swag as far as what's first comes. So just a good type pitch towards it. Kind of has like those particular synths. This really not. Shutterbug has some real nice glossy synths on this particular song that just feel ripped out of like the 80s within a fashion, and just like a revival of what Outkast probably should have sounded like. I think there may be certain folks that feel like this is the next best thing, considering that they probably wanted like a full Outkast album, but I really didn't have a problem with this album whatsoever. Just being able to say it has that typical kind of gloss. It's just the aspect behind getting some poundiness just within those tones, just within the aspect as to how it happens. This feels like something that would have been, just to talk about some Outkast songs within some of those type pitches, feels like a song that probably would have been like Morris Brown or Mighty O, some of those type pitches. Feels like Idlewild Outkast, feels also like Bow Tie off of Speaker Box, some of those type pitches, or Roses, the Andre 3000 single, one of the last most recent songs that they did together, some of those type pairs, but then it just feels like one of those typical kind of theater-esque and kind of more band, but just kind of in a more neo-club type fashions. It just has that particular aspect, like that typical kind of jazz band or whatever type band within the pitch as far as what's going to happen, but it really nails the aspect behind it. So it's basically Outkast in 2010, just without Andre 3000. So a good type pitch, but Follow Us is a nice one here. This is another good moment. This is at least an attempted secondary single. Was just kind of the pitch that I don't know why Full Bound Big Boy didn't catch on further within those pitches, but this is still an excellent moment here. It's like some extra moments I'd have to say for like some day surfing pitches like that, just some good snack run kind of Fritos pitches like that. Some of those type pairs I'd say just lazy kind of hot day shine to get within those aspects there. Just kind of some local trekking. So it's just kind of the pitch. Interesting to kind of get Big Boy on like a local kind of sunshine hop. Some of those type aspects just within like the relative just kind of heat wave type fair. Just great for like a lazy kind of June or July, just like right now. Some of those type pitches are. I'm reviewing this in July, but it probably won't show up until like late August, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying it's just some good aspects to appreciate, like the summer heat and just pool party typeness, pool party, block party type noise within the aspect. This easy kind of noise, have a red cup in your hand, go pick up like some Swishers, some of those excellent type fares, like I said, Fritos, pitches like that. See, I would say there's 17 songs off this album, and minus the intro that narrows it down to 16, and minus like the Shine Blocka's remix that narrows it down to 15, and out of those remaining 15, there's really only one that I don't recommend. So it's 14 out of 15. The only song I don't recommend is just General Patton, which this particular one just had like a real operatic type song. It was just kind of ugly within the presentation as to how it happened. Is the production fair was just not that affable within the pitch. It was just kind of more something that felt like something that would have been in like some sort of gladiator type opera with them pitch behind it. Just didn't really nail the tone. It's probably one of the few ones. It's one of the only ones that just didn't catch on as full bound within the pitch behind. So that's the aspect. But yeah, there's plenty of these. There's plenty of these on here that have some blistering type appeal. One of the most immediate ones, like I was saying, that has the real vicious standout is Tangerine. It says Cujo Goody on here from Goody Mob, and like T.I. who drops a verse on this particular song. It's a real excellent type one. It's like a super beefed up kind of night venue jostle kind of get here. Rock hard kind of ambience about this song. I'd have to say to smoke hell good off this particular song. Just real flashy type one. So this is the pitch as far as saying Big Boy really annihilates his verse on here. T.I. does good, but it's just kind of the pitch. This is one of those type of products that it just felt like T.I. wasn't nailing these moments, especially in the guest versus his full bound in 2010, which is kind of strange. Just with the pitches to question why his dominance wouldn't have been more full bound. You would have thought that like the top back T.I. and you would have thought like the top back T.I. and the You Know What It Is You would have thought that like the top back T.I. and the you know what it is T.I. and like the ready for whatever T.I. some of those type pitches would have been on like this particular song. It's not like this is bad verse from T.I., but it's just kind of pitch that Big Boy just really did pretty stunning on this particular song. It's just the pitch, especially with like swag rap as far as what's first comes. It's just the pitch as far as having some good type appeals. Folio Sorrows is a real excellent type one as well. This has a real mean hook on here. It's this excellent type appeal. It's like a real super sleek type one. I've forgotten about how good this song was. I need to get back to listening to this again. Folio Stars is like a super sleek kind of after hours activity. Kind of get here, just hook ricochets real heavy off this, just real hitting like the aspect behind it. So in 2010s kind of swag rap, I'd have to say, with them pitches like that, and the song bangs pretty hard. So it's just them pitch. Too Short is on the song, which is excellent type appeals. George Clinton's on here, excellent type fare. And this is a pretty good organized noise type piece. That's another good type fashion that makes this like a basic kind of Outkast 2010 album. Organized noise is on here. Shutterbug was produced by Scott Storch, which is some pretty excellent type appeals. Andre 3000 produces You Ain't No DJ, which is a pretty blistering type one. There's some folks like that. Lil Jon produces Hustle Blood, which is a real nice one. So I'll talk about Hustle Blood. This is a real blistering type one. This is another real immediate type fashion. The thing about this album has a number of songs that have like that 10 out of 10 type fashion. Like I definitely recommend in an immediate sense to go for Shutterbug, Tangerine, Folio Sorrows, Shine Blockas, Hustle Blood, some of those type ones within pitch. Those are some immediate type ones in terms of like the most feral. I'd probably throw in You Ain't No DJ as well. But Hustle Blood's like an excellent kind of late shift retire to kind of get. It's like a Lil Jon kind of low-key jump, I'd say, within these aspects here. Just an early bird kind of Spotify bleeder as far as those first apps. So just within pitch is kind of great for streaming era. Some of those type aspects, just letting the speakers kind of unwind until like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Some of those type pitches, just Jamie Foxx in his prime, just when he was on his best night of my life type vibes, which is an excellent type pitch. And you get to that album, it's an excellent type pair. So there's some pretty good hooks on here as well. Just real sonically pleasing this album is, just within those pitches. The Train Part 2 is a nice one. It's like a bleary kind of evening drift kind of mode and like transit, I'd say, with this particular song. Very Slums-like, just brushy and Workaday, but it slams pretty hard. So it's just within pitch. This is more Workaday. The first Train off of Idlewild was pretty excellent. It's not quite as like malaise as that particular one, but it just has like some good, just kind of has like some kind of offset, kind of bluesy kind of after effects. It just like the tone behind it just feels like something a little bit more. The first Train just felt more golden and kind of summery. This particular one just feels a little bit more gassed within a minor type sense and just more bluesy within tone, just more kind of solemn kind of steely as far as those first happens. So just good type pitch. Shine Block is this real excellent one as well. This feels like a 2010s kind of Outkast tune to kind of get within these aspects. Definitely reminds like Play His Anthem by UGK from 2007. Pretty good 2000s mixtape type bop to kind of get. So if you missed that DJ Drama 2006, 2007 type fashion, this is a good type pitch that just takes it back to like the Lil Wayne dedication days. Just feels like the song that, I forget the name of the song, but it has Snoop Dogg and Lil Wayne on there, some of those type pitches. I could probably put in the connotation. I guess I'll do that because I just don't feel like going back and forth. This review's going to be pretty lengthy, so. But that's one of the last most recent Outkast songs with all three of them. Outkast was only on 3 songs together on Idlewild within one of those. That particular song was called Hollywood Divorce. Outkast was really only on 3 songs together back in the Idlewild days as far as those pitches kind of happen. So that was one of those. But it's just the pitch is just getting into some of that mixtape type formula, like that typical kind of house cleaning type solo off of DJ Drama and Don Cannon tape. Some of those type pitches. Really too bad that Outkast never dropped the mixtape. They definitely should have within some of those type fashions. Just getting like some extra type tunes with still some good type fair. Shine Blockas has Gucci Mane on there, which is a good snag within those aspects, just within those tones. So just typical type formats like that DJ Drama soul. You Ain't No DJ is a nice one within these pitches as well. It's like a jarred out and kind of schizo kind of trip around to kind of get here. Just a good 3K type bop to kind of get us a production type fair. He probably should have at least produced another beat on here. I just think the fashion behind it would have been within that particular fair. Makes me question what Andre 3000 was up to back in 2010. I just question if he really did record any albums. I remember him saying that he was going to diss some folks. He had like some disses that he had lined up, but he didn't because he just felt that he felt like they were too brutal or something like that, some of those type pitches. But it just kind of makes me question if he has albums floating. Makes me question if Andre 3000 has albums floating around like Eminem and Dr. Dre, some of those type folks. Probably does within those aspects, I'd say. But good type tone. It's like a wired as hell, kind of get slammed within some of those type pitches, I'd say. So it's just a good, nice one. Like the fact that Yellow Wolf was on this particular song. It's a good type pitch to be able to get tore up within some of those type fashions. This is probably one of the ones that get the most blistered too. Hustle Blood's pretty good. Streaming After Hours Smoke type fair, just in a more wind down type fashion with like Bella's pitches like that. I'd say Ain't No DJs is a real wire type one, just real head trip within the appeals. Tangerine's just some night venue kind of step out for some smoke type fair, so some good type pitches for that. Just pretty stone type, good stony type product. Be Still is a real excellent type one within these pitches. This is like a tugging and get along Be Still is a real excellent type 1 on here. It's like a tugging and get along kind of day slog, kind of get within these aspects. Just kind of switch of tone, I'd have to say, just some makeshift dredge, kind of get within these aspects, kind of some weekday goings within the pitch. So it's just kind of the format. Be Still has a pretty excellent Janelle Monáe backing on this particular song. Be Still really has a pretty excellent Janelle Monáe backing on this particular song as far as what's going to happen. Just excellent within the pitch of getting like an R&B blended kind of makeshift type tune. Makes me question if her 2010 album was within the same variety within the pitch behind it, but it's just kind of the fair as far as saying this is probably one of the more straightforward songs off this album. Not so much like stacked up or stunt type music or smoke type fair within the pitch, but just kind of more just the tugging and kind of just more, so it's a lot more meaningful type fair within the aspect as far as like the get along just within the pitch behind it. It's typical kind of just routine kind of traverse pitch like that, just for like standard kind of blue collar type fair and aspects like that. Daddy Fat Sex is a nice one. This is like a good woozy combo with Shutterbug, I'd have to say here, just to kick off to the album pitches like that, I'd have to say. It's like some would-be kind of 2010 Outkast, I'd say, within those pitches. Definitely a good song to toast something, too, as far as those pitches go. So just have a toast, clink some glasses, pitches like that within the aspects as far as those fairs going to go. Kind of within the pitch of getting crunk, some of those type moments, just the aspect of like that typical kind of swap factor. So in a lot of senses, this album doesn't just remind of Outkast from the 2000s, but it also reminds of like Big Boy from like his speaker box album pitches like that, because this is like some good type of appeals, because this ushered in the door as far as getting Big Boy to put out like solo material. So it's kind of within the pitch that Big Boy had flirted with the idea of doing it throughout the 2000s. I think it was something that was talked about as far back. Like I said, this project had been worked on since 2007, but you know, it didn't come out in 2008, didn't come out at all in 2007, didn't come out in 2009, and it took half of 2010 to end before that particular album came out. So it's just one pitch that Big Boy was kind of quiet. He didn't full-bound miss opportunities, but it's just kind of within the pitch. It probably could have came out a little bit sooner, but it's not like it's a bad thing that it did, but it's just kind of the pitch behind it. Another one that's pretty similar to the Train Part 2 would be Turns Me On, but just not quite as like a gas with it, not quite as bleary. I say Turns Me On is like a dope kind of early demon time kind of hour surfing to kind of get here. Just some extra time kind of thoughts pitches like that. Just kind of errands, some of those type fairs, just kind of some dusky gliss. This one just has a little bit more pep. The Train is a little bit more bewildered pitch like that, just like some setback within the tone or some kickback within those tones, just a little bit more relaxation. But Turns Me On is a little bit more within the pitch of this kind of extra time, pretty much like 6:45, 8 p.m. pitches like that, just figuring out what's going to happen within those aspects, like a dusky kind of cruise around some of those particular type aspects within it. Goes like a pretty good commerce, so like a nice kind of late shift kind of grocery store run pitches like that, or just some products that picking up some supplies, figure out what's going to happen. Backup plan is like a neighborhood kind of extra time kind of get here within some of these type of aspects. There's kind of some sludginess within the aspects as far as those fairs going to happen. Easy kind of house clean, definite house clean music, some of those type fairs. It's easy kind of smoke pitches like that. It's kind of a primer for a venue as far as those pitches kind of happen. So it's just to miss the pitch of like, it's kind of almost frustration within the aspects as far as those fairs going to happen, just within the tone of just kind of like standard fair, just kind of kick-alongs, just kind of a song like Follow Us, just within the pitch like that same sort of product, but just kind of the pitch of just kind of here and there type moments where you're not quite here, not quite there, some of those type aspects. So just figuring out like the last shift kind of test as far as just the product of this, maybe smoking a good swisher or two just in the in-between type fashion before figuring out how some of these things are going to pop off within some type of fields. It's kind of the extra thoughts about it. Theme song is a nice one as well as like a throwback to 2006 Outkast, I'd have to say here, just kind of some screw arounds pitches like that. Hangout fashions, I'd have to say within the aspects here, just kind of VH1 on MTV, some of those type pitches, VH1 on MTV, BET, some of those type pitches within the format MTV2, just kind of pizza, some of those type fairs within aspect, extra pitches like that. It's kind of some standard chit chat. It's kind of extra conduct. Now the intent behind this song, theme song, is more bells related pitches like that, a little bit more mingle within like a flame type sense. So just within aspect, I would also say just for like the fashion, like a hangout type fair. I mean, probably just within the fashion, if you do have, it's kind of extra entertainment type fair. If like one of your homies does have his girlfriend around pitches like that, just within the aspect, just like standard, it's just kind of more of a song for like company type fashion. Particularly within the fashion, Belle is around as well, but just within the fashion, just having more than one or two people around within some type tones. So it's just the aspects as far as getting towards that particular fair, but just this extra kind of conduit type moments in case you do have to encounter like the concept of it not just being, it's kind of some social company type fair, just in case other folks have company around that doesn't have to do with you as far as those pitch camps. So it's just within the pitch as far as saying, so it's excellent type conduct within those pitches, just looking after it, but Night is another quality one as well as like a stock dope kind of evening shift go about to kind of get within these aspects here, just kind of a paced kind of feeling into the Night is like a paced kind of feeling the wind, I'd have to say within these aspects here, just a nice groove I'd have to say about this song. It's just pretty peppy. So just real nice snappy type one. There's been songs like this probably on Idlewild, some of those type pitches, and especially probably like speaker box tones type aspects within the tone. Just feels like vintage kind of big boy and Outkast within some type tones behind it. And I think it's full bound within some type pitches. I think I want to say I do own Stankonia by Outkast. I want to say I do own the album Stankonia by Outkast. It's probably around somewhere within some type pitch, so I'm going to have to fuck with it. But just within the tone as far as saying, just looking within the pitch as far as just throwback to kind of more jazzy type fashions, and just like some snappy kind of pacedness just within a gloss type sense. Just kind of it's kind of some primp type music within aspects as far as what's going to happen. So I think I talked about every song on here within those pitches as far as the format of it kind of goes, just looking at the aspect of the tone behind it. So this album gets a 10 out of 10 within the pitch. Just would say the social score I'd probably give like a 9.752 within the pitch behind it. I look after the aspect behind the quality. This sounds pretty heavy. Outkast does still have enough I would think Outkast had enough notoriety to be able to say that Big Boy would get the commonplace to be fucked with, but it's just kind of the tones that, in terms of the singles and casual type appeal, this album is kind of light on that. It's just kind of aspect. In terms, I would probably say that maybe Shine Blockers would have been a better choice, but even there's just something about Andre 3000 not being on there that I think he probably, even if he didn't want to do a rap verse, could have given this album like a hook or something like that. It just is something that it feels like the album is good and excellent within fashion. It's going to get a classic score 10 out of 10, but in terms of like casual appeal, this album just kind of seemingly went through the motions pretty quickly and was gone just within the relative 2 or 3 months that it was promoted within pitch. So it's just kind of fair that considering the heraldment of how big a deal this is, considering how much of a heavyweight that Big Boy was kind of in the marketplace, like critical acclaim and pitches like that, it's just kind of strange that this album just didn't do successfully better. I don't think it went gold, don't think it went platinum, but it's just kind of pitch. It's not like it shouldn't have, it's just kind of pitch that this was kind of it's just kind of bastardized and ignored as far as those first games. So just one pitch at 9.75, but it's not because it's bad. There's plenty of social bops on here, plenty of 10 out of 10 songs, Turns Me On, songs like Boyo Sorrows, Tangerine, Shutterbug, Shine Blockas, Ain't No DJ, Hustle Blood, some of these type ones. There's plenty of ones that's blistering hit after hit, and this is pretty just thrilling and just overall contemporary type product. It has a lot of good balance about it, so just excellent aspects there. In terms of the future, like Big Boy is supposedly working on stuff. Last I checked on some of these hip-hop websites, he had said that he was working on stuff. I know he at least dropped the 2012 album, which I have fucked with in the past. Do like that one quite a bit. Has like Fantagram on there and pitches like that, so some good type appeals. I want to say he dropped an album in 2015 as well. I don't know how many full-bound albums up to this point Big Boy has dropped since 2015 with some excellent type appeals. So it's Road Blistering type 1, Easybound kind of classic, very underappreciated within those pitches. Just would pay attention to the conduct. Doesn't necessarily need a casual hit to be a classic, but it's just kind of the aspect that is kind of somewhat ignored, but it's definitely worth the investment.